Hello, I'm Roger. You can call me Titus. Everyone usually calls me Titus. And this video is to introduce to you some of my material I have available online, and in particular the material that is useful for the people such as you who at the intermediate or even better high intermediate, and you want to make a final catapult to becoming close to native level speaking ability in English, and you're looking for someone to help you out, especially online. Presently, I'm here in Kyiv, Ukraine, but I've lived in many different countries, have experience over 30 years as a teacher, and I am familiar with a lot of different resources. Something I've been developing the last few years is here on Quizlet, and you of course you know how to find Quizlet online. And once you go there, then you look for Titus 2016, and particularly you want to make the search results find classes, because if you there are other analytics involved, and if you don't, it will probably give you maybe lessons or something. And I found some that had difficulty finding my lessons if they didn't select classes in their search results. So let me just have a quick introduction to the lessons that are available to you as an intermediate or above a non-native speaker of English. In here on the left panel menu bar you can see there's what's called sets, and right now I have 1,800 sets, or those would be considered as lessons in Quizlet. Classes, 15 classes, and of the classes then some classes are catered to those whose English level is at the very beginning, even young children or older people, and they just want to finally make some progress. And some people also want to have some correction in some things that they learned incorrectly. So I've prepared a number of lessons to help those people as well. And so now I have, let's look at a class here called Business Talk American English. In Business Talk American English, there are, I have a little blurb here about what this is about. You can read that on your own. 109 sets or lessons in this class. And let's look at something. Some people they're for business talk. They've been involved in business. They have a lot of trips, and so they just want to get started in using the English that they know. They just don't know where to start, and so I developed a series they call Very Basic, meaning that you wherever you go and whatever situation you're in, and if you're dealing with native speakers, what can you use? Basically, let's say you're going to memorize it, and everyone will know what you're talking about, and you will know what they talk about, because I've put in here both what to say and what you're going to hear back from them. In many cases, this is the start for what a lot of people need to work with. They don't need a lot of vocabulary, because what's the use knowing a lot of vocabulary if you're not using it in your conversation. So, and this is in a restaurant, so I have a menu. So you have the menu in front of you, or you enter in the restaurant, and then what do you start with? Just by saying, "Menu, please." Okay, and then the next thing that's going to happen, you have the menu, and what's the next thing that you're going to want to say? And people do this, and I also instruct on it's called cultural cues, and what works in Western countries, so that the people you're dealing with, they understand what you're talking about, and you're speaking in clear, basic English. This is the very basic. I want to eat this, so you know the situation. So I have a picture here of the cue. And I could go through a whole lesson here, but I think you get the idea of this very basic conversation. And perhaps someone that you know is really looking for this kind of lesson, and I can help them in this way. let's look at another lesson that is suited to those whose English level is high intermediate or near there. So let's look at something about here. I have a series that are called Fast English because very often someone they can say, "Did you buy anything?" Well, you know, you've met native speakers before, and no one who's a native speaker talks like this. Okay, so how do you learn how to say this? How do native speakers speak? Let's take a look at the flashcards. Okay, so I have on one side flashcard the basic English. That means these are the words that you have already learned. You can read it. Did you buy anything? Now, native speakers, what I've done is I've written this in a way to help people understand what they're talking about. Did you buy anything? Did you buy anything? Did you buy anything? The native speaker is saying, did you buy anything? Did you buy anything? So here there's the audio. You press the audio and you could hear the voice. Some part the voice is from the machine and some part is my voice. And along with that, of course, if I'm working with you directly, then I assist you to produce, and all you're doing is reproducing the sentence in this situation. And this is a series of, you notice that the last one was did you, and you notice did you eat, and you say did you. Most people know, oh yeah, it's did you. But then, okay, so how do you make use of that? So that's why I have a series of common, these are the very basic, most often used questions. Very basic doesn't mean, in this case, doesn't mean that these are very simple English. It's very commonly used. Someone who's wanting to improve their English to a near native speaker, they can use these quite readily. And so that some of this is repetition, getting used to it, and it's the idea there are 10 cards, and you want to move through these cards quickly. And so there's a way of choosing this so that you only see the Fast English side. There's this option here. So did you give her a call? Did you send him an email? Did you search online? Did you text me? Did you copy it? Did you get it? So in the lesson, then, if you still not clear, of course you look on the other side. You understand from here. But what you want to reproduce is this, and this is a technique that involves using not your thinking part. And I go through this with my students. Say, to get to that higher level of English, you got to use a different part of your brain. And just in short, there's several techniques to use. This is the technique that I would consider as the fastest, quickest, easiest to learn. To get to you producing English using a different part of your brain. And so please make sure that you note that I have contact details down below this video. You can reach me there. You find here on Quizlet, there's no messaging in Quizlet. I just presenting the lesson. That's the format of this. So Quizlet is not a messaging, a social media in this way. It's a learning platform. So to contact me, you would need to find me on one of the addresses I have below this video. Okay, it's nice presenting this to you, and hope that I can be of help to you someday soon. Cheers.